Okay, here on MetalTalk, it's good to be in the company of Biff Byford.
Yeah.
Lead singer of Saxon, who...
Talking metal.
Yes, and you've got a new release coming out soon, a compilation album.
Yeah, can you show?
Decade of the Eagle.
Yeah, and I think you get a patch as well. Some of them have got patches in. Obviously limited edition, they want to get everybody one, would they?
Of course.
I don't know about that, but for me, I would just give everybody a patch.
Also available on Glorious Vinyl. It's coming out November the 17th.
It is, I've just seen the Glorious Vinyl, it looks great.
Excellent. Yeah. And let's talk about those years, because not only was it a magical time for Saxon, but it's a magical time for heavy metal itself.
Yeah, it was the beginnings of a sort of different sort of genre, I suppose, different style of playing those 7 notes, you know what I mean? Yeah, we were a lot less musical and a bit more sort of aggressive, really.
I say the first album came out in 1979, but you started in 1976 as Son of a Bitch, and you still had that name when you went into the studio to record the first album.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't actually. We didn't. We actually changed our name the day after we signed the contract.
Oh, right. And who came up with the name Saxon?
The record company.
Oh, right.
They came up with Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah.
I didn't like the Anglo. Yeah, we just want, you know. The thing is, we were a very naive bunch of lads, you know, and there was no real leader of the band in them days. Yeah. We just used to muddle along, you know, and manager did most everything. Wasn't until later, when all the money went missing, that you know, I tried to take control a little bit more. But yeah, back in those days it was a bit of a gang, you know, holding it together. And no, we went in the office in London, and they said part of the deal of signing the contract, we had to change our name. They didn't like the name.
Yeah. Mainly for American reasons.
We were with Warner Brothers,
yeah,
who were a massively powerful company, and they thought that Son of a Bitch was even back then, was offensive to women. Mm-hmm. So they were a little bit PC correct back then. So we said, yeah, fair enough. You know, we only had that name really because it was a bit more punky. Yeah. And we were living in a punk world back then.
That's right.
So to get gigs, we called ourselves Son of a Bitch, you know, which was a bit of a, you know, it's a bit out there.
I think the great thing with the name change was the logo, because the logo has stayed the same throughout your whole entire career.
Yeah, some friends of, I think some friends of Graham's actually were at art college in that Rotherham area where Graham's from, and I think, you know, they did the logo for us, and they did a fantastic job, because actually, apart from sort of, you know, some arty people trying to change it back in the day sometimes, it's basically stayed the same forever. It's red. It's got an axe in the S. That's all you need to know.
Exactly, it's immediately recognisable.
Exactly.
And the first song on the album, Stallions of the Highway, many people consider it to be the best song on the album. It's one of many songs by Saxon about motorbikes.
Yeah, and it's also, that song is also a view into what was coming. Because that song was really, the first album made up of different songs written by different bands. There's a couple of songs from Coast that me and Paul were in, and there's a couple of songs from Sob that they were in. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people think that Sob stood for Son of a Bitch, but it didn't. It stood for Sob, cry, sobbing. Yeah, that's where that name came from. So yeah, I mean. So the first album was a mixture, but the songs that we wrote together were things like Stones of the Highway, I don't know, there's a couple of songs on there. Frozen Rainbow, I think, was mine and Paul. Some of those songs were mine and Paul, and some was theirs. And it was amalgamation.
Yeah.
Stones of the Highway and a couple of other songs we wrote together as a band, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And that, if you listen to those songs, especially Stones of the Highway, it gives you an insight into where we're going.
Mm-hmm. And obviously it was the start of a magical journey, and it's also the first time you toured with Motörhead, beginning of a very long friendship.
That's right.
How did your friendship with Motörhead start in the first place?
Well, they liked our look.
Yeah.
They like Sounds of the Highway. That's what they liked.
Yeah.
And they gave us the tour on strength of that. Plus we paid money to get on the tour.
Yeah.
But they sort of let us travel on the bus and paid for the hotels as well. So it was money well spent, really.
Yeah,
You know. So yeah, that's where the friendship. Because we spent 3 months on the road because the tour kept going longer. Because Motörhead then were absolutely huge.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't. You know, they didn't need a new wave of British heavy metal for them.
No, exactly. Yeah, they had a field of their own. Yeah. What did it mean to you? Like last year, I believe it was last year. You played like the heavy metal, the Metal Hammer Golden Gods Awards, and you signed out playing a Motörhead set.
Yeah.
What did that mean to you? Was it a good way, like to say goodbye to Lemmy?
Well, it's weird. You know, nobody can stand in for Lemmy, obviously. But it's nice to sing songs. You know, that Lemmy sang. It's quite nice. He didn't. He wasn't a singer like I'm a singer. He has his own thing going there. And but he was a great lyricist, Lemmy. He really wrote great lyrics, and you know, he sang them really well.
Yeah.
It's quite simple, those songs, but they're quite hard, you know, to get the power, emotion into them. What Lemmy meant it to be, you know.
Just like to say, on behalf of many fans, you did a great job on that day. So it was a great send-off.
Well, it was put together at the last minute,
Yeah.
you know, because we were supposed to sound check and rehearse a bit, but it got so long drawn out that because we played as well, didn't we? We had the Eagle there.
That's right. Yeah.
So it was crazy,
Yeah.
you know, and yeah, it was crazy.
Let's go back to the history of Saxon, you know, because we are here to talk about the decade of the Eagle.
Yeah.
And Wheels Are Still was the big breakthrough album, come out in 1980.
Yeah.
And it was like massive single, also 747, Strangers in the Night. You're on top of the pops. What was that feeling like, being on top of the pops after a year before playing the workmen's clubs?
Well, I think at the time we owned it, didn't we? I mean, us, Priest, Whitesnake, Motörhead, Maiden, you know, Running Free, we were all on top of the pops. It was either us or the New Romantics, and then you get some novelty records in between. But I think between, you know, us, I don't mean us as Saxon, but us as a you know, a genre.
Yeah.
I think it was either us or Spandau Ballet, Duran Duran, you know, the Jam. I think those two styles of music ruled, you know.
Yeah.
And if you were into the more smoothie, you know, make-uppy, good-looking thing, you were into Duran Duran or Spandau Ballet. If you were still a punk, you were into like Clash and Jam, you know. And if you were a metal fan, you were into us or Priest or Motörhead or Whitesnake.
Could you feel the excitement of the time yourself? Like say, Iron Maiden bought their debut album out, definitely booked their debut album out. Judas Priest already up and rolling. That's where
everybody was really excited.
Yeah.
And more importantly, the industry were excited.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that movement launched Kerrang!
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
From Sounds.
Yeah.
Because the Sounds, you know, they couldn't put enough in there about it. It looked odd. So, you know, Kerrang! Came from those days. So, you know, Jeff Barton and all, and Malcolm Doyle, everybody, you know.
And you on the cover of Kerrang! #5, I remember it well.
Without Nigel.
Yeah.
For some reason he didn't come. But yeah, you know, so...
Obviously that was also the first time you played Hammers of Odin on that tour. Big step up.
On which tour?
I think Wheels Are Still.
We played it with Motörhead support.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. We did 3 nights at Motörhead, but headlining, you know, that was the first time.
Yeah, because it was the same year, you know, because you did Strong Arm the Law.
That was our first headline show.
Oh, at Electric Ballroom.
Yeah.
Angel Witch was
before Wheels of Steel, yeah?
Yeah.
So, the point I'm saying is it was happening.
Yeah.
Before Wheels of Steel. Wheels of Steel just came at the right time.
It's like, it's amazing, Strong Arm of the Law, your third album, come just 5 months later.
Yeah.
That's an amazing turnaround, isn't it?
Crazy.
And then you played Hammersmith as headliners, and one thing I always remember from that time was the volume. It was a lot louder than what it is these days.
Well, in London, yeah. They don't have quite the same restrictions everywhere else.
Yeah. And the Strong Arm of the Law album, you wanted to call it Heavy Metal Thunder, I believe.
Yeah, I did. You know, I was proud of heavy metal. I wasn't shying away from the fact. not like some bands were.
Yeah, because a lot of bands were saying, "Oh, we're not metal," blah blah blah.
Exactly.
But you were.
Yeah, all right, then what are you? Oh, we're hard rock. Same fucking thing, mate. It's all attitude.
Yeah.
Heavy metal's an attitude. It's not a chord, in my book anyway. You know, I mean, you know, Sabbath were the first to use the black notes, I think, or maybe not Sabbath, maybe an American band, but I don't know. But you know that entered into our style of writing, but it didn't dominate us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I say, Saxon, you've come up with so many classic songs around that time, and on the next album, Denim and Leather.
Yeah.
You wrote the song and the band's played on, obviously Back Memories of Donington.
Princess of the Night.
And also Denim in Leather, which is also about heavy metal itself, about heavy metal fans.
It's about the community,
yeah,
the family.
There's a great line in there, you know, did you listen to the radio every Friday night,
Exactly.
reference to Tommy Vance.
Yeah.
How instrumental was he to beginning of Saxon's career?
Yeah, massive. I mean, we used to listen to the you know, Friday night rock show, like, if we were in America, we missed it. We were really pissed off. We loved it. Not just because we were on, because everybody was on.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, Tommy. He would like take a new band and play the Death album and tell everybody they were great. He'd travel to Holland to talk to us. You know, he was a good guy. He really was. And,
he obviously played imports.
A lot of people don't know he was like, you know, from the Radio Caroline days. He was an old school DJ, really. You know.
And the great thing about Denim and Leather, Saxon like Motörhead, what you wore on stage, what you wore off stage in many ways. You were a Denim and Leather guy.
Yeah. We come straight from the pub to the stage. I think that was the whole thing. You know?
He released a live album shortly afterwards, The Eagle Was Landed. A single album. Was when he talked about it being a double?
Yeah, we wanted it to be a double. We had recorded a double album. I don't know. The record company could afford it. I don't know. I don't know why they didn't put it.
Did the tapes out there still exist of the whole show?
Pardon?
Do the tapes out there still exist of the whole show?
It must exist, yeah. It must exist. I mean, we originally we called it Part 1. Since then, the Part 1 seems to have just appeared off the cover. But, you know, I argue with people all the time. No, it does not call Part 1, mate. I'm going, actually, it was called Part 1.
Yeah. And you have since done 2 and 3.
Exactly, yeah.
Power and Glory albums. First time Nigel joined the band, Nigel Glockler. What was your first memories of Nigel?
He didn't join the band. He just stood in.
Yeah, that's right.
At the time, he didn't join the band after that tour. I mean, I think Pete just walked away from the band, really, and I don't ever remember sacking Pete.
Yeah.
You know, but we weren't the type of people that sacked anybody in them days, anyway. You know. So, yeah, I don't know what happened to him. Ask him.
Yeah. Did he ever keep in touch afterwards, or did he just disappear?
Well, not really, no. No, he didn't, no. He was pissed off or something.
Yeah.
Pissed off about it.
Obviously, you like Nigel, he's still in the band now, you know, he left for a little while, but he's back.
He keeps leaving and coming back, you know, silly boy. But, yeah, you know, it's what lineup's been, I mean, the lineup, apart from Nigel, has been together now for 23 years.
Yeah, it's amazing,
and Nigel, you know, he has left and come back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What is it about his drummer that you like so much? Obviously, you must love him as a drummer, to have him back.
He's a crazy man, Nigel, and he is an animal, Nigel. He fucking, I mean, he drums those fast songs, you know, and he piles the energy on, and he's relentless now.
Yeah.
He really is a great rock drummer.
Yeah, he certainly is.
I mean, I'll sometimes put 20,000 feet, heavy metal pond, Princess of the Night in a row. You know, I mean, he's 60 fucking 5. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's had a fucking, you know, a brain hemorrhage as well. But he's just pounding now. He's such an exciting drummer, Nigel. He really is. And it's great to play with him.
Excellent. Good to hear.
He's not like he's not a sort of, you know, known for like, you know, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
He can drum like that. And he's not like, he's not Simon Kirk, you know. His power is in his stamina and the way he drives the band to this crazy fucking level.
And I know as a fan standing in the audience, his drum beat goes right through your body.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, he's great for the band. He's the engine room. And without him, we've had other drummers, but it's not been quite so crazy.
Exactly, yeah. In '84 you brought out the album Crusader, and that sort of beginning of the start where we were sort of dividing fans and opinion. Were you changing for a new direction yourselves, or?
Well, I think 85 was it? Crusader?
I think '84 Crusader and then '85 was Innocent No Excuse for you and I, and that's really the real commercial route.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the it's hard to say really because everybody's right in retrospect, aren't they? I think
because there's changing tides in the heavy metal scene anyway, like bands like that and Motley Crue coming out.
I think the American thing was they were having their explosion.
Yeah.
And they were able to do the Van Halen thing, weren't they? You know, looking, you know, like fucking LA rock stars.
Yeah.
You know, whereas we couldn't do that. Although we probably tried to do it, but we couldn't. You know, you couldn't possibly pull it off from fucking, you know, from Denby Dale. You know, it's not very glamorous, is it? So, yeah, I'm just saying that. I think we were hitting great moments of writing, but it wasn't like it was before. Not every song wasn't a great song. I think if you listen to the first, I mean, Power on the Glory is a great album. There's some great moments on that album, but I just think that we're getting a little bit sort of not quite so focused. I think we're all doing our own little thing there somehow. I think lyrically I was basically writing the same stuff, and melodically I was trying to write, you know, really strong hooks and things.
The great thing about what did come out of Crusader album, one was the title track, a great live favourite, and also the artwork, which I believe you got at home, and but it's also the start of a new scene in a way, which inspired a scene 10 years later on, like the battle metal scene.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, Crusader was a strange time for us because, you know, we made it in LA with nothing wrong with that. It's just 4 walls and microphones, yeah. But I think the producer choice at the time was weird, you know. Although Kevin's a great producer, I don't know whether he was right for us at the time. So I think along with the audience changing from a more British bands to like more American bands like Poison and Rat and Motley Crue and, you know, all those you know, big Cinderella, all those big American bands were coming to Europe, and I just think the decisions that were being made could have been better.
Yeah,
and I think all that in culmination, I think Crusader, if we'd have been able to sit down and think about it, could have been a much better album, although it's one of our biggest selling albums.
Yeah.
Probably from the strength of like 2 songs.
Definitely, yeah.
But, you know.
There's one song on that album which we've not included on the new compilation. It's the ballad "Do It All For You," and he also did a ballad "Nightmare" from Power and Glory. They're both singles actually.
They are.
But you've not included them on the compilation. Is there a reason for that?
Only that I'm not a big fan of "Do It All For You."
Oh really? I really like the Pain Of.
I mean, I know you like it, and it was co-written by the producer with us. No, I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You know.
Will Saxon ever record a ballad again?
We do come close, but they're just more. They're not ballads, are they?
Yeah, they're not lovey-dovey kind of lyrics.
You know, we had, you know, we had the Battering Ram. We had the last track on the album. It's not really a ballad; it's more poetry. But I suppose that's as near as we come, really.
Yeah.
You know.
So let's go back to Innocence Is No Excuse. That was a different sounding album for Saxon as well, but some great songs on there.
Yeah, I think by that time, I think our fan base had changed. We're talking the UK and nowhere else. Yeah, it had changed, moved on to things, and you know there was things on the horizon, weren't there?
Yeah.
You know, grunge was working.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, so. But having said that, though, Innocence Is No Excuse album and tour were our biggest tours of the 80s.
Wow.
Bigger venues, more album sales. You know. I mean, we didn't really have what you call a hit off that album. I suppose Back on the Streets got like top 30.
That's right, it did, yeah.
You know, but that, you know, and it's a great song. I like it. Full of attitude. It's like, you know, we're back on the streets again. So it's classic Saxon, really. I just think production-wise, it's a little bit,
not really the Saxon sound as such,
as we were, yeah.
In '86, you bought the album Rock the Nations. We saw you headline Reading Festival.
That's right, I remember that. It was raining. Yeah, it was good. I liked doing Reading. I mean, it was like the middle Reading.
Yeah.
It wasn't the huge Reading of the 70s, and it wasn't the big Reading of today, but it was Reading, and you know, we headlined it and part of the records.
That was the last time we headlined a festival in the UK until this year, Rounding Man, yeah.
Right.
Excellent day it was as well. And just to wind up this era, Decade of the Eagle, you brought out Destiny in '88.
Chip.
And in the sleeve notes, you said that you would like to re-record Destiny.
I would, yeah. I'd like to record that without the keyboards and everything, and have it more. Andy Sneap would do a great job on that. Maybe we'll do it.
Because like you say in the sleeve notes, there's some excellent songs on that album.
The best song for me on the album is Ride Like the Wind.
Christopher Cross,
that's right. And because me and Paul took it and rejigged it and transposed it into more of a, well, it's more like solid wall of rock.
It's one cover version that Saxon have recorded where the fans have totally embraced it, and it's a live favourite.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, a lot of young fans thought it was our song, as they did with Code of the Crimson King, which is really strange. You know, I mean, people are like, oh, we love that song of yours, Code of the Crimson King. Actually, it's King Crimson, it's not us.
From the 70s,
Oh, really? You know, but that's, you know.
And, like I say you want to re-record it, but will you ever do that? On a box set or something? It's an idea for the future. So I think it's a very good idea.
If we got time, and you know, Andy got time to do it, it would be a nice little project to do. You know, when you've got some spare time.
Exactly, yeah.
Just to go in and do it, definitely.
And what are the plans for 2018 for Saxon?
Well, we have the new album coming out in February. We're going to do a few shows around Europe, not too many. I mean, 3 UK shows, I think. And we're off to America with Judas Priest.
Oh wow!
And,
a band who toured with back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah. And yeah, that's 10 weeks. We're out there, South America as well. So then we'll come back, do a few festivals, maybe in summer.
Excellent.
And yeah, then we're going to go back out on tour in autumn. Proper Thunderbolt World Tour will be in autumn. So hopefully more UK shows. That would be great.
What is it that you love so much about touring?
Well, it's a connection with the fans, isn't it? It's I mean, you know, the internet's fantastic for being in connection with the fans, but you can't beat a live band on stage, giving it everything every night. You know, we don't use click tracks and really hard drives. So what you see and what you get, and I suppose that's why we consider it to be a great live band, because every night is different.
How many songs do you rehearse for each tour? Because you do chop up the set list.
Well, we'll probably do 5 or 6 new songs on the tour. We're obviously a special guest in America with Judas Priest, so that'll be restricted a little bit. We might have 4 songs there. But it's all about the new album, that's why we're touring.
And how do you keep yourself physically in shape? Because obviously, like you mentioned earlier, you're not getting any younger.
Well, you have to say, I mean, you have to keep the stamina level up. You know, you have to do a bit of exercise, a bit of bike riding, things like that. You know, maybe not burn the candle at both ends every night.
Well, Biff, you're looking in great shape. It's always good to talk to you. The album. Yes, hold out.
Yes.
Decade of the Eagle, 1988.
I like the title.
Yeah, it's a great title, yeah. And that's out on November the 17th on BMG Records.
It is, yes, it is.
And it really is the definitive collection of those golden years.
Yes,
the hungry years.
The hungry years, right. Yeah. we look hungry on there, don't we?
Yeah.
You want to invite us back to meet your daughter? Come on. You know what I mean?
Well, Biff, it's been wonderful talking to you. All the best, and I'll see you
definitely.
next year on tour.
Yeah,
Marvellous.
see
Thank you
you
very
on
much.
tour.
Cheers.
Keep the faith.